Hello, everyone. This is Daniel, and I am going to be talking to you about the cross. So, let's just a little bit, and just more. Okay, nice. So, what is message, and how can I tell that I'm going to heaven? For the first part, I'm going to be talking to you what the cross is to everyone that is being saved and to those who are not being saved. It says in First Corinthians, chapter 1, verse, I think, 18. Yes, verse 18, it says, "For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are lost." Let me say this again. For the message of the cross is foolishness for those who are perishing, and for those who are saved is the power of God. And if you did not hear that, it is foolishness to those who are perishing, because, for those who are perishing, why is it foolishness? Well, it sounds foolish to those who are perishing, because it seems like foolishness. It seems like, wow, why would anyone want to go to the cross if, if why would we want to die on the cross for daily, just for a stupid piece of wood that crucify us? Because especially back then, people were being crucified on the cross for being a criminal, for being a Christian. In the future, that's going to happen too. Everyone's going to be a Christian. Everyone that's a Christian will be a criminal, and their offense will be death. Their offense will be being a Christian, and they will be getting the death sentence. That is in the very future of that. That's within a few years, I believe. And I can tell you right now, the message of the cross is foolishness, because they don't understand the cross. Because I accept that Jesus died for me on the cross. Is paid and finished. I believe they died for me. But for the people that don't understand, it is foolishness, because they think, wow, the cross is just they don't understand. They think, wow, why would people die on the cross? It's like, that sounds weird. It sounds foreign. We want to be above everyone else and stay on the earth just on our feet and just say, okay, we can be realistic about this. But indeed, the cross is not realistic, because if you think about it, if you're really perishing, you're staying on the earth and just having your feet on the earth. But if you're on the cross, you're actually raised in the air by the cross, and then you will be indeed with Jesus Christ as a king in heaven. And for those who are saved, it's the power of God, because He saved my life from being a Satanist, and for everything that I've done, especially being a Satanist myself. I used to be a Satanist, but Jesus Christ saved me from that, for I believed in His cross. And the cross used to be foolishness. I used to be offended by the cross, but now I don't anymore, because it's no longer foolishness. It's actually the power of God, like it says in the Bible. Remember, if you're going to heaven, you'd rather be on the cross than in hell. So, if you're going to heaven, it is Jesus, the cross, the price that Jesus died for us. It's all about Jesus. It's not about us. Because if you're going to heaven, Jesus gives you that power and glory to conquer death itself through the cross. It is the message of the cross that we are saved. Because he basically took the punishment of God's wrath, not only on the cross, but in the Garden of Gethsemane. He took the cup of suffering, and on the cross he did that too. And yeah, he quite literally, sin entered him, it entered the grave, and that's final for us. Even though sin is still present in our lives, we can still be accepting that Jesus died for us, so that it will be finished. It's finished. We don't have to worry about the worries of death anymore. It is the calming, joyful experience of being saved from death, saved from hell. And Jesus saved us. He saved us on the cross. And people say, "Oh, for those who are perishing, it's foolishness." Remember this. For those who are perishing, remember those people. And those people say, "Oh, this cannot be. It's 2,000 years ago. How can a man be legendary? And how can he be a god if he died 2,000 years ago and died a horrible death? Isn't he a legendary person today? How is he? Like, I don't even know how people think about that, because it's foolishness to them. Yet I understand that Jesus died for us and he's king and he reigns above all kingdoms, because he died the most dishonorable death, yet he is the most honorable God, because he died also the most honorable death, because he quite literally, he died the criminal's death, yet he died for us all, so we could get to heaven, because he died for us. He thought of us on that cross of Calvary. He thought of us. He cared for us. And he put the filth of sin in the grave. Also, when Jesus died on the cross, like I said, it will be finished. For us, it is finished. And people might be wondering, oh, how does that make it finished? Well, he was a perfect and just man. He was God. Yet he came in the flesh. He had every attribute of our bodies, except he did not know sin. Then he took all sin in his body, yet then, since he was perfect, sin could not enter him. But yet it entered him into the grave, so it went into the grave and stayed in the grave. For our sin is all paid for on the death of the cross. And when Jesus rose above, it is the power of Christianity. Now, wisdom and power. Let's talk about that. Jesus knows what he's doing on the cross. Let's just say. Because let's see what he did. When Jesus went on the cross, he was perfect. He was perfect in every attribute. But then it was paid because it was a cursed tree. That cursed tree, because he died on the tree, and that tree ended up cursing every sin and attribute of the sin. And believe me, the Old Testament in the Bible says, curses any man that has on a tree. Well, Jesus was cursed on the tree, because then he had to put all sin in him, but then he was no longer on the tree, he was in the grave. Perfect setup. So once he was in the grave, sin left him. But since he died on the tree, it went in the grave. So as we can see, curse is no longer. But since he was flesh and our body, a flesh, and he knew what it was like to live our body since he was perfect. Sin that is hypocritical and perverted, that perverts the law, when it basically made God imperfect. It was criminally prosecuted by the law of God. So in the grave goes the sin, and anyone that believes in Jesus, we can be set free by Jesus. That's how it all works. Remember that, and you will be saved. All right, I'll be done now, okay? Bye.